Welcome to episode 1 of Build With Me, a series where I bring you alongside every step of the process as I build my next business. I decided to start this series because the first company I built it very privately. I didn't really tell anyone what I was doing, and I kind of kept it a secret until it was pretty established. With this second business I'm building, I decided I wanted to build it a little more publicly, record and document the process as I build it, show people the process and how it's done and how I do things. In this video series, I'm probably going to make a weekly video where I kind of run down the things I'm working on, what I accomplished, the next step, any problems I run into, any successes I have. I'm going to show it all, the exciting parts, the boring parts, pretty much everything, just because I think it would be super interesting to bring people along for that and show them exactly kind of how the process works. I built one company that's been decently successful, and this is my second one, so I do have a fair bit of experience under my belt, but there's still going to be a lot of new things I'm learning and challenges I'm running into, and I think it'll be cool to document the process the entire way, whether it be a success in the end or a failure. It'll be cool to look back on and see the progress I made along the way and the things I accomplished. So with that being said, we'll get into the first week of pretty much starting this business. I guess I should go ahead and explain exactly what I'm doing. For those of you that don't know, my first business I created is called Club Doctor, and I manufacture and sell products that you use to take care of your golf clubs, restore your golf clubs. It's pretty much a golf club care brand. And so while building that business, I've gained a lot of experience in the chemical product industry, and I have a lot of connections in that industry now, and I feel like I have a pretty good grasp on it. So since I've worked in the chemical product industry and know it decently well, I wanted to do another business in that area. And so I was talking with a manufacturer, and he has a great big list of products and great formulas, and a lot of them work really well on instruments. And so I was thinking that might be an interesting niche to go into. The great thing about my first business being in the golf industry is that golfers are oftentimes super obsessed with golf. I'm sure you know a golfer in your life who's a complete nerd about the sport and just obsessed with it. And that's why I think my first business did so well, is because it's in a category like that. And so when I was thinking about the instrument care idea, I was like, I was thinking, yeah, that's kind of similar to golf. People are kind of crazy about their instruments, whether it be guitars or brass instruments or woodwinds. And so I was thinking this might be something that I want to take on. So then I began doing some research, seeing what products were out there, seeing if there was any big brands that existed. Much to my surprise, there wasn't a whole lot. It feels like there's room for a new company to come in and kind of take over. And so that's kind of my goal. I'm hoping to create a brand that's more modern and updated and looks great, and the products work excellent, and just kind of develop a brand that is known for taking care of instruments. And so once I verified that this is what I wanted to do, I got to work pretty quickly. It's easy to skip to the fun part where you're thinking of a brand name or developing logo ideas or different packaging ideas, which is what I kind of did for the first week, just messing around with different branding styles and figuring out the direction I wanted to go with it. But over the past week, the main things I've been doing have just been pretty boring paperwork. Pretty much the first thing you have to do to kick it all off is form an LLC. For some reason, this step feels intimidating every single time I do it, but it's really not that hard of a process. You just need to find your state's rules for forming an LLC, go online, fill out the required paperwork, and it's pretty much done. I think in most states it costs around $100. Personally, I don't think it's necessary to hire lawyers and a whole bunch of people to do it for you that are going to charge you $500. It's pretty self-explanatory, and you can kind of do it all yourself. So I knocked that out this week, and then usually takes 2, 3, maybe 4 days for the state to get back to you, and 9 times out of 10, if you did your research and filled out the paperwork properly, it'll get approved. Once I got approved by the state, I went and registered for an EIN, which means Employee ID Number. This is basically a social security number for your business. You go to the IRS and you say, here's my business, please provide me with an EIN. And basically it's a number that tracks the finances of your business through the IRS. You're going to need this to open any business bank accounts, especially if you're doing e-commerce. You're going to need this number to sign up for different platforms. So I also knocked that out this week, which was quick and easy. So I have my LLC, I have my EIN. The next thing I need to do is go get a business bank account. And this can be complicated sometimes because you need to find a bank that's going to work for you. I would just check with different banks to see what their minimum balances are and how much they're going to charge you for different things such as ACH transfers, wire transfers, just odds and ends fees, and find something that's going to save you the most money and charge you as little fees as possible. Outside of that, I didn't do a whole lot else for the business because I'm kind of just waiting to push this paperwork through and get this knocked out. But I did receive some product samples that I've been testing a little bit. This is going to be a cleaner and wax for wood instruments such as guitars, violins, stuff like that. So I've been testing it on stuff like that, seeing how it works, making sure the product is good and not going to damage anything. A good product is probably the most important thing you can do. No branding, marketing, any of that is going to sell a crappy product. So it's important to have a solid product that works really well, because then when you get it in people's hands, they start talking about it and it eventually just starts to sell itself. But yeah, other than that, I've done a little bit of research as far as coming up with a brand name for the product. I'll go a little more in depth with that in the next video, where hopefully I'll have some logo concepts to show and talk about, and I'll be further along in the actual branding process and give you guys some insight into that. I'm excited to bring you guys along for this journey. I think it'll be cool to show each of the steps and kind of build this brand publicly, and hopefully it succeeds. It might fail, who knows, but either way, I'm going to document everything along the process for you to see. So with that being said, thanks for watching. I'm excited to make more of these. This is truly one of my biggest passions, so these videos are fun to make, and it's content I really enjoy talking about. So I'm really excited for this series, and I hope you guys are too. Thanks for watching. I'll be back with the second episode next week.